Call this meeting to order. Please stand for the Pledge of Allegiance. Pledge
allegiance to the flag of the United States of America, and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
Thank you very much. If you please be seated. Our first order of business will be to swear in our newly elected school board members. And by the Honorable Christine Halley-Hasteman, I have been appointed Judge Pro Tem for this evening in order to administer the oaths. So,
Do I fall in as newly elected?
I'm sorry?
Do I fall in as newly elected?
Yes, sir, you're newly elected.
Sixth time?
Which time, yeah.
So we can, actually, we could do this individually, or I could do it and you all say it at the same time, however you prefer.
I'll go group.
You do it with group?
State your name, yeah.
Group? Okay. All right. So for each of you, I solemnly swear that I will support the Constitution of the United States
I solemnly swear that I will support the Constitution of the United States
of America, the Constitution of the State of Indiana,
of America, and the Constitution of the State of Indiana,
and the laws of the United States and the State of Indiana.
and the laws of the United States and the State of Indiana.
I will faithfully execute the duties of my office
I will
Faithfully execute the duties of my office
as a member of this governing body, so help me God.
this governing body, so help me God.
All right.
Is it?
Welcome to all of you, to new board members, and we'll get the president signed here. Short order. All right. If nobody has an objection, I'll continue to preside over this meeting until the election of president. The roll call, please let the record reflect that all board members are present, and now that they've been sworn in, we have a quorum, and except for Angie Jacobs. She is on the front lines fighting this pandemic, and we appreciate her service in doing that. The rest of the board members are present tonight. Any visitor comments? No? Okay. So the first order of business would be the election of the president. Is there a nomination?
Nominate Dana Kerr. I second.
Nominate second. Any other nominations? Hearing none, all those in favor say aye.
Aye.
Opposed? Now we have the election of a vice president. Is there a nomination?
I nominate Jerry Durnall.
Thank you, sir.
I second.
Okay. Any other nominations? Hearing none, all those in favor say aye.
Aye.
Opposed? Motion carries. Now we have the election of a secretary. Do we have a motion?
I nominate Larry DeMoss.
I'm fine with that, but
Or you
I
going
got the impression that Angie was willing. I don't care. I mean, it really doesn't.
I think she was fine with that too.
Yeah, you
Okay.
too, yeah.
All right. Okay.
So,
A second. Okay.
so the nomination is for Larry DeMoss for secretary. Any other nominations? Hearing none, all those in favor say aye.
Aye.
Okay. And now he is newly elected as the secretary. So now that we have our officers, the next order of business is the establishment of board compensation. Dr. Sanders?
Yes, the board annually approves the compensation amount that the board will receive for the calendar year. And I recommend the following compensation for 2021. $112 per regular board meeting, $62 for other meetings, such as executive sessions, work sessions, for a maximum of $2,000 annual salary.
So it's a $2,000 stipend plus the amount per meeting? Yes. Okay.
Yeah.
All right. We have a motion.
I move approval.
A second.
Second. Discussion? All those in favor say aye.
Aye.
Opposed? Motion carries. And next is to appoint the school corporation legal counsel. Dr. Sanders?
Yes, we've been served very well by Ferguson Law. They do a very good job and readily available with great advice. And Matt and I really rely on them in order to make the best possible decision. So I recommend that we continue with the retaining of Ferguson Law for our corporation legal counsel.
Any motion?
I move that we retain Ferguson Law as our legal counsel.
I second that motion.
All right. Move a second, any discussion?
I'm just thinking it's been over 25 years now, I believe.
Ever since I've been on, this is I'm well into my 21st year, so, yeah.
Yeah, yeah, 99 when I came here.
Yeah.
So Dave had more hair then. Every time I said that, yeah.
I think it was Jim before that for a while too.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, I think when I came on, it was Dave. So,
Yeah.
we had Christine with us, and thank you very much. Any other discussion? All those in favor say aye.
Aye.
Opposed? Motion carries. Our next order is business to appoint the school corporation treasurer.
Yes, I think we've had an excellent treasurer at RVB, and so I recommend that we continue using Debbie Tate to serve as our corporation treasurer.
I move approval.
A second.
Second, Wes. Any discussion? Yeah, she has done an excellent job for us as well. I mean, she really has. It's not an easy task, and so to keep everything straight, she's done a great job. Okay, all those in favor say aye.
Aye.
Opposed? Motion carries. Now the appointment of the school corporation deputy treasurer.
Also, Robin May has served as well as deputy treasurer, and so I would ask you to approve the appointment as Robin as our corporation deputy treasurer.
Have a motion?
So moved.
Second.
Second. Thank you, Robin, for your service.
Yes, thank you very much.
You're always there to make sure that we've got a backup and everything's going well, so thank you very much. So all those in favor say aye.
Aye.
Opposed? Motion carries. The next item is to establish a bond for corporation treasurer, deputy treasurer, and the ECA treasurer.
Yes, we are required by law to establish a bond amount for our treasurer, deputy treasurer, and ECA treasurer, and that is an amount set at $100,000 for each of the three positions. So I recommend your approval.
So moved.
Second.
Second, any discussion?
Just a question, how much does that cost a year? Do you know off the top of your head?
I'll have to look back at the invoices on those. I couldn't give you an exact dollar amount off the top of my head. I'd have to look back on them.
I was just curious. I had no idea, but it's a huge amount. Okay.
And the ECA treasurer oversees all the ECA accounts, but junior high, high school, elementary, correct? There's not a separate person in the elementaries? Okay.
Any further discussion? All those, we did.
Yeah.
Motion, right?
Yeah.
All those in favor say aye.
Aye.
Opposed? Okay, now the appointment of the secretary to the board of school trustees.
Yes, so back to Robin May, I'm recommending her to continue as a secretary to the board, and she does a very good job, and there are a lot of things that have happened during a school week, a school day, and it's nice for to have somebody like Robin who makes sure that we get agendas posted and information to the board in a board packet, and there's a long list of things, and I really appreciate her hard work, and so I recommend Robin once again to serve as our secretary to the board.
Motion?
I move.
A second.
Move to second. Thank you, Robin, for the continued assistance to the board. We appreciate all the hard work that goes into that as well. Any more discussion? All those in favor say aye.
Aye.
Opposed? Motion carries. The next order of business is to, for board appointments. Now, these are where board members will be appointed to different positions. One is the Athletic Council, another is the Ellisville Park Board. There is also the Monroe County Redevelopment Commission, and legislative liaison for the Indiana School Board Association. So, we want to take these one at a time, or would someone like to
I'd like
propose
to
a
move,
slate?
I'd like to move the first two councils, Athletic Council, and Ellisville Park Board. I'd like to nominate Jimmy Durham for those two positions.
Second.
Thank you.
We have a nomination for the Monroe County Redevelopment Commission.
I would nominate Brad Tucker.
I'll second that.
And we have a nomination for the legislative liaison to the Indiana School Board Association.
Larry DeMoss.
I'd like to second that.
All right. Are there any other nominations for any of these? Hearing none, all those in favor of the slate, say aye.
Aye.
Aye. Opposed? Motion carried. And now we have the 2020 regular school board meeting calendar.
Yes, this is not an action item, simply to share with the public and the board tonight. We voted at our December board meeting to approve the calendar for board meetings for 2021. So this is just an informational item on the agenda for you tonight. Each of you should have a hard copy, and I believe, Robin, didn't we email everybody a copy today? And it's also on our website.
Looks like all Mondays. They're going to
Except for
next
Martin
month,
Luther
yeah.
King, I did have one question, Dr. Shannon.
This one, I'm sorry.
January 19th, there's two meetings listed. Are those going to be simultaneously at 7 o'clock?
Yes, we'll start the Board of Finance meeting at 7, and then shortly thereafter.
Okay,
The regular meeting.
okay. So, but it's advertised as two separate meetings?
Yes.
Okay, all right, perfect.
And, generally, the Board of Finance meeting is pretty quick.
Okay.
Doesn't take much time. It's an informational item. Just food for thought. I'm not sure why we have 7 p.m. as a meeting time. I know several years ago that when Mr. Randy Wright was on the board, it worked very well with him and his schedule. But I just didn't, and just to think about, I didn't never know if the administration, you know, because a lot of times the principals show up and things like that, if it's difficult for them to come that late, or if it's better so that they can go home and eat first or something. So just thought I'd throw that out there, that maybe you ought to think about it.
I'd like to think about changing that. Brad, where are you at on time?
As long as, and thanks again to Robin for sending this out again today. As long as I have time ahead of time to prepare, I can be here earlier. If that's what people want to do. I
Does
just need
6
to know.
o'clock work for everybody?
I'm retired.
Right.
Noon?
I retired twice. It didn't work either time, so.
So far, I've got it down. The only thing I'm concerned about is the possible effect on the community if people would not be able to get to meetings at an earlier time, but, you know, if they maybe feel out some of our constituents and see what their thoughts are.
And I would like
I
to know
would-
what,
My bedtime is 9 o'clock, so.
and I would like to know what the administration, the principals,
Sure.
Right,
and
right.
those that
What-
come routinely,
Mhm.
technology folks and such.
I know when
But I just thought I'd throw that out there.
Yeah,
So I
we can
wouldn't,
talk about that.
I know, I always wanted things to be earlier when I was,
Yes,
Coming
okay,
in.
right, yeah.
yeah, I mean, when I
Good luck.
applied,
and when you start at 7, sometimes you'll have, if there's a lot going on, it
Yeah.
can go
yeah. they can
past
go-
your bedtime.
yeah, Yes.
Right.
To late, so I just,
Coffee.
So we could change that the next meeting if you decided to do that?
Yeah,
yeah.
yeah, I'll talk to the principals, and
Okay.
if you want to check with people in the community. I feel like 6 o'clock is I think it gives people time to go home, be able to come over for a
Mhm.
meeting, and then it helps for those longer meetings,
Yeah.
that we're not so worn out at the end of the meeting. So I think there's a lot of benefits to having it at 6 o'clock.
I'm sure there can be a lot to go both ways. I mean, some people might think, well, then give them enough time, but then also I think some who have younger children who would wanna come and get to the meeting and then get home and get their
Right.
children to
Mhm.
bed as well, might lead. So,
Yeah, I'd like,
so again, I just threw it out there, so
I'd like to see you consider that, so let us know.
think on that. Okay. Our next item is the 2020, no, that's it, we just did, the approval of corporation bylaws and policies.
Yeah, this is just an annual part of the organizational board meeting that we just pretty much reaffirm our bylaws and policies for the Richland Bean Blossom Community School Corporation. So your vote tonight is just to reaffirm our bylaws and policies.
I'd move approval.
A second.
Any discussion?
We're talking about the Neola.
The Neola, and we're all up to date with Neola.
This is the ones that, the current ones, they're already in play, and we've already voted on the changes prior.
Right, right.
These are just current ones.
Mm.
Well, these are just, yeah.
Reaffirming.
Reaffirming what we've already approved.
Everything, yeah.
Okay, gotcha.
Any other discussion? All those in favor say aye.
Aye.
Opposed? Motion carried. The next item is the appointment of the local board of finance. And technically, this is also all of the school board members would be on the board of finance. But the bylaws we do have says that we need to appoint those people to the local board of finance. So what I'd be interested in here is a motion that all school board members would be members of the local board of finance.
So moved.
Second.
Any discussion? All those in favor say aye.
Aye.
Opposed? Motion carries. There are conflict of interest forms that are before the board members. If need be, please have those filled out tonight before you leave and turned in. Is there any other business?
There is a thank you card for the board while my wife was in the hospital, and so she wanted me to share that with all of you tonight.
Okay.
We definitely appreciate all your thoughts and prayers.
We're glad she's doing so well.
Wonderful. Thank you very much. Says thank you so much for the flowers and the willow tree angel. That was so thoughtful of you all. Angie, I enjoyed our visit. I just hope I was making sense of what I was saying.
Angie came to visit her.
Okay.
And that was really helpful.
Yeah.
Wonderful.
Good.
So, we're very appreciative of that. Anything further? No, this meeting's adjourned.